Hurricane Idalia is unleashing life-threatening wind and rain in Florida and Georgia. It made landfall as a dangerous Category 3 hurricane earlier today in the Big Bend region before moving east of Tallahassee toward Georgia. The storm downed power lines and shut down roadways as coastal storm surges as high as 16 feet barreled into towns. The U.S. National Weather Service says Idalia will hit the Carolinas next as a tropical storm before moving out to sea. Hurricane Idalia plowed through the Big Bend region of Florida today, where millions of residents had either evacuated or hunkered down in anticipation of a dangerous storm surge of tidal water. Drawing strength from the Gulf of Mexico's warm waters, Idalia unleashed destructive winds and torrential downpours, flooding streets from Tampa to Tallahassee.
It's like hell down there. The wind was blowing this morning at about 80 miles an hour. The water within 15 minutes hit down covered all of my yard up down there.
While it is still too soon to assess the total damages, we know that the storm made landfall as a Category 3, which means over 120 mile-per-hour winds and up to 10 inches of rain in some areas.
Overnight, Idalia attained an extremely dangerous Category 4 intensity, with maximum sustained winds of over 200 kilometers an hour. By late morning, wind speeds dropped, reducing the storm to a Category 1 as it entered Georgia. More than 400,000 homes and businesses in both states are without power, and U.S. airlines have canceled over 1,000 flights so far. Florida Highway Patrol say 2 drivers died in separate rain-related crashes, while over 75 people needed to be rescued from floodwaters in St. Petersburg alone.
As soon as it's safe to do so, when the winds die down to a sufficient level, search and rescue efforts will begin.
U.S. President Joe Biden speaking today after the initial aftermath of the storm, calling it another example of the climate crisis.
I don't think anybody can deny the impact of the climate crisis anymore. Just look around. Historic floods, more intense droughts, extreme heat, significant wildfires have caused significant damage like we've never seen before, not only throughout the Hawaiian Islands in the United States, but in Canada and other parts of the world.
Biden also saying he talked to governors from the states where Hurricane Idalia is expected to have the most impact and is ready to mobilize any federal resources needed by them.
Idalia is the strongest storm to hit this part of Florida, to make landfall in this part of Florida in over 100 years.
Idalia is the 4th major hurricane to strike Florida in the past 7 years, following Irma in 2017, Michael in 2018, and Ian, which peaked at Category 5 last September.